Yo, what is going on, guys? SCJ here, back with another video, and with the NBA offseason now upon us, we're going to be talking about the top 5 free agents as well as a couple other guys to watch out for this offseason and possibly see moving around the league. So while we can all agree that Anthony Davis is the best free agent on the market this year, it seems that we know there's about a 99.9% chance he's staying in LA with the Lakers after the success that the Lakers had this year and the fact that he's playing with the man who's currently the best player in the world, LeBron James. However, there's many other talented free agents to look out for on the market this offseason that we might see move and play elsewhere come next season. Now, the first guy I want to talk about is Demar Derozan. Derozan has a player option, and it was reported back in March that if the Spurs and Derozan can't come to an agreement on a contract extension, that he would decline his player option, making him an unrestricted free agent. If that ends up happening, there's no denying that DeMar very well may become the 2020 free agent that garners the most interest on the market, since Anthony Davis will most likely resign with the Lakers. Despite never really finding his rhythm in San Antonio and the fact that he's a shooting guard / small forward that can't shoot the 3-ball, many teams are interested in Derozan, and he garnered a lot of interest before the trade deadline this year from teams such as Miami, Milwaukee, and even his former team, the Raptors. If Derozan does end up leaving San Antonio this offseason, be on the lookout for a contender looking to add another scoring option, such as one of the 3 teams I named previously to be a potential destination that DeMar Derozan ends up playing in come next season. Next, let's talk about Fred VanVleet. VanVleet was already looked at as a very tough and good point guard before this season, but he really took another step forward this year with how well he played. VanVleet averaged 17.6 points, 3.8 rebounds, 6.6 assists, and nearly 2 steals a game, coming in at 1.9 per game. He even improved and looked better during the games played in the NBA bubble this year. Those are obviously very good numbers though, and it's easy to see why teams are so interested in him. Unlike most players coming off their rookie contract, VanVleet will be an unrestricted free agent rather than a restricted free agent, so the Raptors don't have the ability to match any offer another team gives VanVleet. That could be bad for the Raptors, as he of course looked very good, and he was looked at as the guy that will be starting point guard after Kyle Lowry retires in a few years, and the Knicks, Pistons, and Suns have all shown interest in VanVleet since August of this year. So VanVleet is a guy who very well may end up being a starting point guard for another team looking to fix their point guard issues this offseason. Next is 2020 Sixth Man of the Year winner Montrez Harold. Immediately after the Clippers blew their 3-1 lead against the Nuggets in the second round of this year's playoffs, Montrez Harold began following the Toronto Raptors after rumors came out about them being interested in him come this offseason. Montrez proved how good of a player he was with his level of play this past year, and the fact that the reigning Sixth Man of the Year is hitting the free agency market as an unrestricted free agent is going to strongly interest teams, and with the Clippers also letting head coach Doc Rivers go as well as possibly trading Paul George, there's a very good chance that this year's Sixth Man of the Year will be playing elsewhere come next year. Next up is Nilo Galinari. Galinari had a great year this past season, putting up averages of 18.7 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 1.9 assists per game, as well as 40.5% shooting percentage from 3-point range. Galinari recently even just came out and said that playing for a championship is more important than a contract. So that makes it sound like he'll be leaving OKC and heading elsewhere and going to a contender this offseason, and even taking a huge pay cut in order to try and win a ring. Multiple teams such as the Lakers, Celtics, and Nets have apparently shown interest in Galinari after his subtle comment or subtle hint that he gave that he's most likely going to be leaving OKC next season, so don't be surprised if he ends up playing for a contender come next year. Lastly, let's talk about Gore and Dragon. After a successful season for the Miami Heat, but a disappointing ending to that season as they just lost in the NBA Finals to the Lakers, there may be changes to the Heat roster made by Pat Riley, and Gore and Dragon might be playing elsewhere come next season. The Heat and Dragic said that they plan on him re-signing there this offseason, but with many teams interested, including most recently the Orlando Magic, maybe they offer him more money than the Heat do and he ends up playing somewhere else next season. Dragic has been a huge piece to the Heat's success, but with the Heat now seeming to go all in with their 1 and 2 guards of Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, and of course Tyler Hero, don't be surprised if Dragic is actually playing elsewhere come next season. Also, some other guys I want to mention to look out for this offseason, just so it doesn't seem I'm forgetting anybody, are Carmelo Anthony, Serge Ibaka, Jeremy Grant, Davis Bertans, Mike Conley, Evan Fournier, Hassan Whiteside, Joe Harris, Marcus Morris, Paul Millsap, and Tim Hardaway Jr. So that's, of course, a lot of key rotation players that many teams will have interest in. So be on the lookout for at least a few of those guys to be going elsewhere come this offseason. So yeah, guys, those are the top guys to look out for, or guys that could possibly be changing teams during this offseason in free agency. There's other solid or good players in free agency this season I didn't mention, but guys like this year's most improved player Brandon Ingram, as well as Gordon Hayward and Andre Drummond, most likely will stay put come this offseason. Reason is Ingram is a restricted free agent and the Pelicans are going to match anything offered to him, and Hayward and Drummond will most likely opt in to their big player options, as they won't make that much on the market coming with another team, especially with the cap space decreasing due to the NBA losing out on fan revenue with no fans being in the stands this year. But yeah, guys, I want to know what you guys think about 2020 free agency this year, and or about any of the free agents I mentioned, or let me know if there's someone I forgot to mention down in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, then give the video a like, as it helps out a lot. And if you want to see more NBA content or breakdowns like this video or my other ones, make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. That way you stay up to date with my newest uploads once they go live. Anyway though, I'm SCJ and I am out. Peace.